Yo, 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 yo! What is going on, CoD Familia? It is your boy BN, aka Mr. Kingdom Builder, and today I thought we would do a little bit of a deep dive into the long form answers that the 119 kings and queens out of the 170 or so that we had reached out to for our State of the Game questionnaire that we did in November to read out their answers for this question, which is how do you feel about the make way policy, and specifically how it is being used to create invincible marches going into Bastions, right? With it having that 30-second invulnerability from going city to city, or leaving, I should say, and going towards. For those of you that have been using it, I'm sure you're well aware of the strength and power of this policy. And I thought it was important just to be able to read off some of the responses, or up to all of them. And we're going to show you that here on a separate sheet where I have increased the font size so it can make it a little bit easier to read, and you're potentially not squinting if you might be watching on a phone. As always, if you enjoy the content, make sure you throw us up. And of course, as we get through reading, I want to hear from you. How would you fix this? What is your answer to it? Is it just removing Bastions potentially? Is it removing the make way policy? Is it adjusting it because maybe you like the idea of it, but you just think it needs to be tinkered a little bit with? Let me know in the comments down below. Let's go ahead and read some of the feedback. Again, remember, this is from the kings and queens, or kingdom or number one alliance leadership, that responded out of the top 170 kingdoms back in late November, right? So it's only about a month old. First response, it's garbage. It's also being abused for keeps and jumping between cities. Not a fan, it's overpowered. Read with sarcasm. Make way. It's fine as long as Bastions exist as a mechanic. The developers might as well grab as much cash as they can. Hopefully I did an okay job. Unfair. Change. Here we go. It makes it so much more fun for the attacker and defender, because just sending legions again and again in a building is boring. We got the next one. It should be deleted now. Get rid of it now. It helped me. I would be for it. If it helped me, I would be for it. But since we lost a crucial choke because of that, I'm going to say please nerf Peon Stupid. It shouldn't be a thing. This was created specifically for fighting Bastions. I am unsure how I feel about it. Either way is super overpowered. Being able to simply block a rally defeats the purpose of fighting a Bastion and makes Bastions even worse for the game. However, having no defense really other than the Bastion garrison for 5 minutes counter rally time is really silly too. Easy solution is just get rid of them. No comment. It's broken, only makes Bastions worse. Don't like it. Marches should be invincible and Bastions should be removed. Huh. Okay, I see. So maybe they're saying that they still like it, but just not the fact that it can be used to go invincible from there to a Bastion. Or maybe they meant they should be vincible, not invincible. Make it easier for the Stronghold Alliance to win, so no. It's a screw up. It doesn't make sense at all. It's okay, not completely broken, but the biggest problem is the differences between players. When the Bastion is full of loyal T5s, not afraid of deaths, smaller alliances can't compete. And we've heard that consistently as well. Terrible mechanic for Bastions. Other gameplay mechanics is awful. I think it's not good for attack, but good for defense. I'm not sure if I don't like this. I think there is no problem with make way. Okay, nice. I don't know what this means. That could happen as well. The make way policy has a strategic purpose, but its use to create invincible marches when targeting Bastions presents some issues. On one hand, it adds an element of strategy that skilled players can leverage, making for intense battles where positioning and timing play significant roles. However, when used excessively, it can create an unfair advantage that undermines the balance of gameplay, as it makes certain marches really unstoppable. A more balanced approach to the policy might limit the power of these invincible marches while still preserving the strategic value of make way for offensive maneuvers. This could help keep the competition fair while rewarding skillful, well-timed attacks. Limit the power of these invincible marches. Oh, I see. As in, like, maybe they just can't attack and no one can attack. Like, so you can't attack them, they can't attack you, kind of a thing? Or something else. I mean, again, it's kind of a broad, vague. It doesn't really go into, like, what exactly their suggestion is. That would have been nice to read, though. It should have a shorter range just to leave a city or stronghold. Okay. I don't think it's good. It gives a big advantage, makes defending bastions easier, which works both ways, so I think it is fair. It provides longer bastion fights, resulting in more deaths. The make way is good itself. What is this? Oh, in itself, as it allows people to defend while being completely surrounded by a stronger opponent. I don't mind the policy. Hate it with bastions. It sucks. Good. Love it. I just love how there's like the polar opposites are just kind of hitting it left and right. Remove it immediately. This is the only problem with bastions. If you have field control, you should be able to succeed in rallying a bastion. I mean, that is one good point. Remove that policy. It's annoying. Players should be able to block the reinforcement. To be honest, it's a bit strange when a bastion or keep is surrounded, but the enemy can still enter it. I think this is not the best mechanic. Oh, that makes sense. No comment. It's great because you can put troops into cities nearby your bastions to defend it without getting attacked by other forces. Too OP. That makes bastions almost unkillable. I haven't experienced it significantly yet. Conceptually, it seems exploitable and bad for the game. Okay. And I kind of like that perspective where if someone maybe hasn't experienced it yet, but maybe they've watched it and they're kind of already simulating in their head on how this could or would play out, kind of gives you at least a different approach on how they would view it as well. Don't like it, should be removed. No idea, should be removed. I don't like it, remove the policy, please. Address this in Bastion question, but it was ridiculous last season, and I can't believe it made its way back this season. Being unable to outplay your opponent to prevent reinforcements is extremely frustrating. The make-way talent has no place in this game. Bastions are no. The Bastion has become too overpowered because of this stupid policy. Complete Shiitake Mushrooms, terrible for the game. Remove immediately. It is overpowered and should be nerfed, especially when paired with Bastions. Get rid of it. No opinion. Remove it ASAP. No comment. Combined with the Bastion system. Coming back to what I've said earlier, only for money-making purposes created. I appreciate the ability to jump from city to city, but it should be restricted when entering bastions and keeps if the enemy has field control. And this is something that we're already seeing from a number of feedback responses. And I kind of tend to agree here is that if you are able to maintain field control and you have units that are kind of blocking other units from getting to where they are, I mean, just like if there's a real war going on, you're not going to be able to reinforce something out in the battlefield in real life. You know, you're going to have to go through whatever's in front of you first, and i.e. meaning you have to defeat it. So to me, I think that makes sense, and I guess it would just be nice if that was the way it was. I guess that's my view. Horrible for the game. It makes the offensive side more difficult to destroy the Bastion, but the defensive side is excellent to have this policy. It's a bit silly. It means that strategy means nothing. The alliance willing to kill the most troops will win. There is nothing fun about Bastion fights as they currently exist. Hate it. Do not like it. Being able to block marches is a better aspect in the game. It should be removed. Open field dominance needs to have a point, and this removes it. I think that's another good point. Make way policy should be used to make your way out of your city to join open field battles. For if your city gets surrounded and you want to leave, it will need a 5-second delay on reinforcing bastions, keeps, passes. Okay, I mean, this is like the first potential change suggestion that we're hearing. Well, it's a good tactic that can be stopped simply by spreading troops near bastions and avoiding the enemy to do TP. I don't know, it's okay. Dog Shiitake Mushrooms, dumbest policy they have added yet. The fact a T5 well can TP next to a keep while you're breaking it and just keep refilling the keep is annoying as... We'll just say Fushaka. That's what we'll use from now on. 3 to 5 seconds unobstructed is more than enough. It's fun if we do it, but annoying if enemy doesn't. I want to point out the whole fun if we're doing it, but it's not fun if it's being done to us kind of a situation very much feels like the kind of paid, like the high spender pay to win comments that we've been hearing from. I remember Guns had said this and a few others have said this too as well. I know from the Noir side when we did some of those, I don't want to say interviews, but when we asked them some questions, and we've heard this from other people too as well outside of Noir, where some of those comments, and this is just kind of more of, I would imagine, a universal approach for some of those high spenders, is that it's fun when they get to power up and kind of get to a max account ASAP, and they're the ones kind of punching down and i.e. bullying, if you will, or just have a very distinct advantage. But once you have more and more players that get to a T5 level, or to get to where they have viable marches, even if it's only one or two that can actually go out on the field and compete, all of a sudden they're not getting as good of trades as they are. Now it's requiring a little bit more true skill, a little bit more strategy, a little bit more tactics. And for some of those players, I imagine, right, the fun appeal to them of just kind of being able to spend, whale up, and just kind of pounce, if you will, probably loses some of its appeal. So it's funny that you're kind of hearing this, where that, to me, that correlates. I really don't like this because base Bastion is very OP, not experienced it yet. It is more for whales and people who spend a lot of money in the game. Smaller players who spend most of their time trying to enjoy the game free to play or with minimal spend can't experience it. It's a good point. Got like 7 hours 45 minutes of sleep. Still constant for me. It's overpowered. I think it's good. It should be taken away or patched. Having Krakens being able to refill Bastions 24/7 is making it impossible to push past it. It doesn't matter as long as the consequences of the troops dying permanently are removed. I think it's fine as it is. Remove Bastions is best solution. That sounds OP. I don't think anyone should be invincible in all of this. Rip Tupac. Some of these responses, I love it. But I still appreciate people answering the question. I have not experienced it yet, but from what I know about it, I think it's good. And as for going invincible, marches going in, it should mean we always have to scout it. Okay. Very bad Bastions silver 2 OP, but makes the game too defensive. I don't think it's a great idea. Make way policy is 90% of the reason why Bastions need improvement. Getting rid of make way will make Bastions better. Okay. Absolute dogwood hunter mechanic needs removed. Nerfed ASAP. Trash. Should be removed. It ruined the fun of Bastions. It is impossible for you to break a Bastion over an alliance of 14 billion plus. Basically, 2 to 3 people are there giving infinite refill, and you can't do anything. If they change this and remove the TP spots, 3 now. Bastion, it would be the best option, because then what would define it would be the activity of the kingdom and not a policy. Okay, touche. I think it's another good point. Should be removed from the game. Honestly, missed the Bastion play because my tablet broke, so I have no input. It's interesting. They makes territory battles more diverse. Stupid as hell. Too explodable. Remove it. Delete it. No opinion. They should do away with it altogether. Horrendous. Should be removed. People should have the opportunity to control Bastion with open field dominance. Marches. I think we're almost done here. Marches aren't invincible. They just can't get intercepted. But it is an issue as they... personally, I feel like that is kind of one and the same. But yes, I understand the distinction. But it is an issue as they can reinforce by hopping from city to city. Still, overall, I like the policy. So this is a downside I'm willing to take. No, only need reduced time to remove. Okay, so just removing the time, not making it the 30 seconds, but maybe 15 or 20. No comment. Bad Bastions are already hard for small alliances and T4 players. Being able to create invincible marches for them ruins them completely. It just makes the strongest even stronger, taking away from the combat opportunity. Horrible way to enable whales to infinitely fill Bastions. Bastions overall are a bad mechanic for the game. Almost done. Disgusted. Bastions are horrible enough for only needing at least 3 whales to fill it. Being unable to intercept them from reinforcing, even though you have field advantage, is just the worst. It's being abused to the point there is no fun. There is a very troublesome... this is very troublesome for the attacker. Very balanced make-way policy should be unbalanced. Should be abolished. And someone said it's good. Okay. We actually did that in like a pretty decent time. Kept this one under 14 minutes for all the responses there. This is actually, I think, a better way to do it, where I just kind of increase, show you guys in the spreadsheet kind of the question, or I show you this first for the question, and then we get to read all the responses in a little bit bigger font. So hopefully you enjoyed that. And again, I'd love to know what your thoughts are, right? But more specifically, what is your fix for this? What do you think needs to change? Is it just a complete removal? Do you reduce the time by half? Do you make it so that way... again, right, if they're running in, they still can't go like from one area to another, where they're kind of doing the ghost movement through troops, or right, they can potentially get blocked. Like, where do you sit? Where do you fall and lie on for how you would either fix this, not fix it? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. But again, appreciate everyone who took the time to fill this out, for all those kings and queens. And hopefully next round we'll be able to get even more people and talk about, whatever the current state of the game is, 4, 5, 6 months from now. That is going to do it. And of course, for anyone that is interested in being a part of our King's Guard, which is who we asked these questions for, Again, I will be updating that again probably at the earliest on Monday of next week. So I don't know if that's the 30th, right? December 30th, possibly. But again, just be on the lookout because usually I'm reaching out to the leader first for any of the alliances in game, and we'll probably do maybe like the top 200 kingdoms or something around there. But basically, anyone who's in, I think we did season 2 and beyond, so I don't know if we'll continue doing that or maybe I'll just do like Season of Strife and beyond. But for now, it'll be season 2 and beyond, right? So if you're the king or queen of a kingdom, or you're the person who is in a position to represent the kingdom, right? Those are the people that we'll be reaching out to with that in mind. So again, you could put that if you want in your kingdom declaration. That would be a really good opportunity. So I don't know. Let me see if I can kind of show that off for what I mean, right? So if you're, as an example, right, which I honestly wish more people did this. So if I go in to your declaration privileges, it should be here. Like there should be something here where it says like who your kingdom roles are. That is something I wish more people did, but sadly it's I don't know, feels like it's a lost art. Anyways, probably rambling at this point. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know what you think. That's gonna do it for me. As always, until next time, we'll catch you later.